keep it on me on my army, I ain't finna run. Cut still up in my Gucci bag, cut the biggest gun. Show up a nigga run up on me, I don't get a done. My flow tighter than virgin.
You already know who the fuck it is. Asharenu. We're back in this bitch.
Why did these rapping niggas is sweet? I'm just feeling for more. Side up on the city, the murder capital, everybody know about rap. Money holds dog, I can't go without. And they got to know to tell me I'm on the mail, but all this shit I rap about my team and I'm gonna go about.
How to become a savage.
And shout out to them hitters that be still thugging on law. And nigga ain't stopped to the day I'm in the coffin in my
process is quite simple, actually. Alright.
Look in your eyes and tell you fake, homie. Fucking this main bitch is supposed to be your main, homie. It been them same 10 year niggas that the change on me, boy. You must be talking to the James.
So for all my people that's on the dark side, or who's thinking about being on the dark side, take these things into consideration before you make your move. Or if you already made the move, think about this. Especially if you're talking about working with demons, you're talking about working with malevolent spirits, you're talking about tapping into your subconscious mind, you're talking about tapping into your shadow side, you're talking about doing the unthinkable. See, we in the deep south right now. See, it ain't nothing but motherfucking trees. There's nothing around here. All right. Imagine, peace. Imagine everything being taken away from you. Way different than the West Coast. You already know. People don't even have enough heart to come down here. Trust me. What's the deal? What's up? Yeah, we in the South right now. Nothing around here but motherfucking forests. There's nothing around here. Take these things into consideration. And it's raining, but I'm out here still. Peace. See, imagine everything being taken away from you and you had to rebuild from scratch, but you could not take the same route you took to get everything you got. In other words, let's just say you got everything you have legitly. You put in that work, but it all got taken away from you because you chose to walk a certain path in life. Because a lot of people walk this dark side, peace, and they lose everything, right? They lose everything. They may lose their family. They may lose their friends. They may lose their job. They may lose whatever they feel is valuable to them at the time. They may have nothing to show for it. But they still have one thing that they did not lose. And this is the ultimate lesson of the dark side. There's one thing that you can never lose. And that's your spirit, right? Even deeper than the spirit, that's your soul. And it's from your soul that you find your true light. In other words, the reason why people fall or people get freaked out and they don't make it from this dark side because this shit is no hold on, okay. Make sure. Signal is good, okay. The reason why people lose everything is not that they made a mistake. It's supposed to show you that even if you lose it all, you can regain it again. But you do it from your soul's force. What do I mean? When your pen, let's just say you activate your pen. Let's just say you're a poet, you're an artist, somebody who activates their pen. Your shit don't start manifesting till that pen starts to bleed. When you start bleeding your soul through that pen, not just writing, you're just trying to write rhymes and trying to be cool and trying to get money. When your soul bleeds into that pen, right? Your soul has to bleed when you use that pen. When you're literally in tears because you have nothing. except that pen, and you bleed, right? Because you have nothing else. You don't have nothing else. You have nothing else. You don't have anything to live for but that motherfucking pen. That's it. That's all you have. Then you start to truly understand what this is all about. When you only have one chance, you don't get too many chances. Because when you walk down this path, all you get is one shot. You don't get the fuck up and try to redo what you did. You have to live with your regrets. You have to live with the regrets, because that's one thing the dark side is going to teach you. It's going to teach you how to live with your regrets. It don't teach you how to do everything perfect. It teaches you how to live with your fucking regrets. Can you live with the fact that you could not live up to the expectations that everybody around you expected you to live up to? When you lose it all, when people have turned their back, when you have no money in your pocket, you have nobody to turn to, when you literally have nothing, you only have yourself to depend on. All you have is yourself. You don't depend on the system. You don't depend on money. You don't depend on anything but your soul's force. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? How to become a savage? What is a savage? A savage has learned how to live with regrets. Let's just say you was living the street life and you lost the closest person that was to you. You lost your best friend. And whatever way you lost them. This was somebody that you lived and died for. It may be your family. It may be your mother. It may be your sister. You lost somebody that meant the world to you. Let's just say you never got the chance to tell them that. You never got the chance to tell them how important that was, right? Now you have to continue to live with a heavy heart. How to become a savage. A savage has to live this life with a heavy heart. Fuck how much money they have. Fuck how much that they actually don't have. They have to live every day with a heavy heart. That they know, like, damn, shit, maybe I should have stayed on the light side. Maybe I should have just went to college. Maybe I should have just worked for corporate America, because maybe I could have took care of my kids like I was supposed to. Maybe I could have did this like I was supposed to. Maybe I could have did, you know what I mean? You have to live with something, with a heavy ass heart every single day, and that pain does not go away. We talking about the pain that don't go away. We're not talking about the pain that eventually subsides. We talking about the shit that don't go away. Can you live with that? Can you live with the shit that don't go away? Because that's the type of shit that make you a savage. But a savage learns how to use this unforgettable pain and to bleed their soul through that pen. It may not be the pen. It may be whatever. I'm just using the pen as an example. When you have nothing, the pain that does never go away, when every day you have to like, fuck, that shit ain't cool. You can have a bunch of money in your pocket, but that pain don't go away. The only way for you to continue to live without leading yourself to self-destruction from drugs and drama, guns, or all this other shit. The only way for you to continue to live is to transmute this unforgettable pain that just will not ever subside. It will never go away. This is what makes motherfuckers pick up guns and kill. Because somebody has taken something from them that cannot be replaced. When your soul starts to bleed. See, everybody loves hip-hop, right? Everybody, you know, wants to be successful, have all the money, have all this stuff, all this material stuff. But do we ever ask ourselves, at what cost? At what cost? Trust me, everybody who has been successful has lost something that they cannot get back, regardless of how much money they have made since then. There are people who are in the grave that are not coming back. There are certain situations that you're going to have to live through that you can't turn your back on. You have to continue to move forward with this heavy-ass heart. But can you transmute that pain? Can you transmute the pain of, let's just say, walking left when you knew you should have walked right? But you knew. Can you live with the pain? Because that pain, if you do not transmute that shit, it will turn you into a savage. If you don't transmute this pain, you will become a savage. You will become self-destructive. The only way for you to not destroy yourself from within, we're not talking about nobody else. The only way for you to not destroy yourself from within is to transmute this pain. But can you transmute the pain? Because we only get one shot. We don't get to restart. We don't get to try this shit as many times as we want. We're talking about the shit that cannot be replaced. We don't get our youth back. We only get to be 21 once. We only get to be 31 once. We don't get it back. But can you transmute it? But most people are afraid to even experience something so severe, right? Because it's not easy, of course, right? Transmuting the chaos into order is the hardest thing you can ever do in this lifetime. The hardest thing you can ever do in this lifetime is to go through something, fuck it up, and come back even stronger, because now you have access to something that you didn't have access to before. You have pain now. You have regret. You have pain. You have regret. You may even hate yourself. You have hate in your heart now. Pain, regret, hate in your heart. And if you don't do nothing about that, it will cause you to self-destruct. But can you live through that? Can you continue to go forward? Will your soul bleed through that pen? Will that ink turn into blood? So now it ain't just rhymes. You ain't just writing rhymes for fun now. Now you bleeding on that paper. You're conducting blood rituals now. A simple everyday rhyme turns into a blood ritual. Now you make offering to higher spirits. This is why people so-called sell their soul to the devil, because shit, what do they really have to lose? After they done lost everything, what do you truly have to lose? Right? Why not? Right? Because some people go through hardship and turn their life around. They go to the light side, right? Because they felt like they did something wrong. But can you hold your position? Because let's just say you was in the military, right? Let's just say you was at war. You at war. You may be in a whole different country fighting in the war. And everybody around you is dying. All your homies is getting killed. Because everybody chose to go to war. Everybody knew what they signed up for. That's what I'm talking about. You know what you're getting yourself into. And you know it's going to come at a cost. As they say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, right? You got to pay the cost to be the boss. The boss ain't just the boss. Everybody want to be the boss. Everybody wants to be a king, queen, god, goddess. But are you willing to pay the cost? You don't just get this shit for free. Are you willing to pay the cost? Are you willing to pay the cost? Are you willing to lose something you can't get back? And still stay down, not to change your life, You chose the dark side, or you chose to go into the military. You chose whatever path you chose. You don't get the fuck up and switch. You don't get to switch. You don't get to change your life. You have to stay down. See, that's what people don't understand. People fuck up and try to change their life. You don't get to switch sides. Of course, we will notice in the streets. If you a blood and you lost your blood homies, you don't get to switch to Crip. No, you don't. You got to stay a blood, or you got to stay a Crip, or you got to stay a GD, or you got to stay a BD, so on and so forth. You have to stay with whatever decision you made. You don't get to switch because shit didn't go your way. You don't get to go somewhere else because the shit didn't happen the way you thought it was going to happen. That's the challenge. This is how you become a savage, because you know you have to stay with the decision you made. You can't switch. This is how to become a savage. Can you live with the regrets? Stay down and transmute this hate, this hunger, this pain. Let's just say somebody was homeless for whatever reason, right? Let's just say somebody had to sleep in these dark ass woods. You had to make this your home for however long till you come up with something better for whatever reason. That's something you have to live with till you come up. Stay down till you come up, right? You don't get to switch sides. You don't get to play with this shit. Because again, a lot of people ask me, for whatever reason, a lot of people ask me about the dark side, about demons, about this, about that. But y'all see, you don't see me switching sides. You don't see me talking about dark shit, then I act like I never went through nothing. All of a sudden, I'm a saint now. Because I don't have the option to switch up. I made the decision, now I have to live with the decision I made. And from this decision I made, I have to find a way. Still, I don't get to switch and pick another path. I have to live or play the cards I was dealt. I have to play this hand, period. And this hand makes you a savage if you do not transmute that pain, that hunger, that regret. It will eat you from the inside out. This is what it means when some people choose to work with demons and they think that they just can get what they want and move on. It don't work like that. You don't get to work with spirits and demons and all these things and you just go about your business. Right? So, can you truly live with all the decisions you make and still come up? Can you still come up knowing that you fucked up? That's what it's all about. Can you still come up knowing that you fucked up? Knowing that whatever path you took, you have to live with it. And you know it may have cost you a lot of things that you can't get back. Can you live with it? Because if you can live with it, if you can transmute something that most people are not willing to bear, because most people are not willing to bear that type of pain. This is what makes you different. This is what makes you special. This is what makes you the black sheep. Because you're willing to take on a pain that is so heavy on your heart. It is so heavy on your heart. But you still choose to take on the challenge. Knowing what you're getting yourself into. Knowing, as they say, the end result may be jail or death. But you still do it. because you know you still have an opportunity to rise above to levels that other people will never ever reach because they're not willing to take on the challenge. If you're not willing to take on more and more and more and more challenge, how can you rise up without first seeing the bottom? How can you go to heaven without first experiencing hell? Right? Everybody want to be heaven, right? Everybody want to go to heaven. Everybody want to live a heavenly experience. But how many people have truly traveled through hell? Are you familiar with the hell realms? All right? I don't think so. Because if you really was familiar with hell, you would know that it's not the place to be. You would know that it's not the place to be. So you try to rise above it. See, I have no idea where I am. I have no idea what I am, where I am. Because this is completely different from the West Coast. You don't see all these trees. It look like you can be lost. You see these roads? Like, what the fuck is this? That shit don't end. It look like a never-ending road. But I chose to come out here. I got to see what's up. I don't get to just chill in the house. Because I have a path to walk. So, that's what makes you a savage. You willing to walk the hell realms. Get very familiar with the hellish realms. And slowly rise up. Get rich or die trying. Because if you don't try, you will never get rich, right? Rich in spirit, rich in financial success, whatever you want to call it. Right? This is why people praise the dark side. Because they was willing to take on a challenge that nobody else was willing to take on. So, again, we're not gonna be on here too long. I just wanted to give y'all this message. You know what I mean? I communicate with y'all from the spirits of the city. See, every city I touch down in, I'm going to deliver y'all a message from the spirits. And the spirits is telling me, because we in a deep, dirty South, right? The satanic South, right? All the music that everybody hates, right? Everybody complains about this mumble rap. All this mumble rap. Everybody complains about hip-hop is dead. Everybody complains about ain't nobody talking about shit. But nobody understand the true path. Nobody truly understands. Everybody has every reason to complain about every goddamn thing, right? Never even walking the path. How many people have been down here? Right? How many people is actually traveling city to city? Letting motherfuckers know what's really going on. It's not happening, trust me. It's just not happening. So, need I say more? Need I say more? Because truly, everybody has everything to complain about. Never truly walking the path. Right? All these people that gossip, all these people that have anything to say about anything without ever walking the path themselves, that's what this world is. That's what this mainstream is. It's a bunch of people talking about things they have never experienced, casting judgment on places they've never been, talking about people trying to escape hell when they never had to deal with it. Right? People talk about how savage people are in the world. What led them to become a savage? Are any of us born savages? I don't think so. Shit had to go down for somebody to become what they became. But of course, they're going to demonize everybody who chooses to walk the path, because it's like, why would you choose to do that? This world is set up for you not to have to do that. Why would you choose to do this when you could have took another path in life? You do it because it's in your fucking soul. Fuck the mainstream. Fuck what everybody else is saying. Nobody is supposed to understand, because they never will walk in your shoes. They will never take those risks. They will never have to live with that pain. So they will never truly know what it means to be a savage. So they will never truly know what it means to come from hell and to live a heavenly experience. They're just trying to live a heavenly experience, never having to go through anything. That's how the world is set up now. You don't really have to go through anything. But if you do choose to go through shit on purpose, not because a situation you got forced into, but a situation you put yourself in. You put yourself in these shoes and nobody do it for you. When you choose to become a savage and live with that decision to go through the realms of hell and rise up on purpose because you chose to do it, not because you were just placed in an unfortunate position. See, most people go through hardship because they're placed in an unfortunate position. They may lose their job. Something happens that they have to go through it, so their mind isn't prepared to deal with the consequences because they don't even want to be in that situation in the first place. They just have to be in it, so they just have to get through it. But when you choose to go through hell on purpose, so you can have your mindset completely in tune with the hellish realms on purpose, by choice, that makes your experience completely different than somebody who had to go through it because it was an unfortunate turn of events. You placed yourself in hell to rise up instead of you just so happen to stumble upon hell. That's the difference. When you place yourself at the bottom to rise up instead of the bottom just falling on you, you learn certain lessons that other people will never go through because you have the mindset. You feel me? You have the mindset that other people will not have because they're trying to escape. You're trying to learn. You're trying to gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from hell because you know even if it's a hellish realm, there are still principles that must be followed and obeyed at all times. It don't matter what realm you choose to go down. The law never changes. So when you have the mindset and when you understand that the law never changes, whether you're in hell or heaven, the law never changes. If you can keep that on your mind, then you know better. So you're not stressed. You're not worried. You really are not trying to do anything but gain those principles. Because once you start gaining and living by those principles, you automatically start to levitate because you are taking on those principles and you live it. You learn the principles and you live the principles. You understand the principles and those principles become your way of life. When those principles become your way of life, it gives you power and you wield your power so that you can stabilize any situation you may be in, and then you can truly call yourself a god. Once you can call yourself a god, now you can create or destroy. And once you can create or destroy, this is the true art of manifestation. Till next time.